This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Got a lot of important updates to share with you. Financial pressure is mounting on millions of Americans, and the federal government still has not stepped up yet. Although Nancy Pelosi is talking about federal gas relief checks, that hasn't come to fruition yet. States are stepping up, and things are getting really bad when the House GOP is offering $500 checks, another state offering $1,000 family freedom inflation relief checks, another $500 checks going to workers in another state, and gas tax suspension is going on, but also grocery tax suspension as well in a few different states. I'll give you all those updates. Plus, it looks like COVID may be making a comeback and mask mandates may become a thing again, and I'll give you some other important updates as well. Hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below. And as I mentioned yesterday, this book is on sale that I just published, the 50-Day Gratitude Journal. So if you're interested in getting a copy of this, I have a link to it down in the description below, and I'm giving out a few free copies. I have my contact info down in the description below as well. I got a bunch of messages yesterday. I'm going to get to it right after I publish this video. So hopefully, if you message me, I'm going to get back to you very soon. Anyways, let's get into the news here. So inflation surged 8.5% in March. Here's what Americans plan to cut as prices continue to rise. So it looks like groceries, gas, almost everything that is part of the American lifestyle or people in general is being cut. Take a look at this video clip right here talking more about what prices have been inflated and what is going to happen in the future.
But first, here at home, inflation numbers released today by the U.S. Labor Department show prices up in nearly every consumer category, but especially energy costs. President Biden traveled to the Midwest to explain how his administration is going to try to help ease the pain at the pump for Americans. Soaring inflation, fueled by record-high gas prices, brought President Biden to the heartland today. Speaking in Menlo, Iowa, he told Americans he gets the economic pain they're feeling.
I'm doing everything within my power by executive orders to bring down the price and address the Putin price hike.
The president left Washington this morning, hours after the Labor Department released its monthly price report, painting a bleak picture. In March, inflation was up 8.5% from a year ago, the sharpest increase since 1981. It's felt across the economy. At the grocery store, where the cost of meat, poultry, fish, and eggs is up 14%, and dairy products up 7%. Clothing prices also up 7%. And at the gas station, a stunning 48% increase in the past year.
On June 1, you're not going to show up at your local gas station and see a bag over the pump that has the cheapest gas.
The president focused today on energy, announcing that his administration would allow the sale of gas made with 15% ethanol from June to September. The cheaper blend of gasoline, known as E15, is usually banned in the summer when driving rates peak to prevent air pollution.
Even if it's an extra buck or two in the pockets that they fill up, will make a difference in people's lives.
Today, the president argued rising costs made worse by Russia's invasion of Ukraine call for emergency action.
We need to address this challenge with an urgency that demands.
The administration predicts that the use of E15 this summer could save drivers 10 cents per gallon of gas. It remains to be seen how much this move, combined with the release of millions of barrels from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, will blunt inflation's costly rise.
What are your thoughts on that? Let me know down in the comments below. Is inflation affecting your purchasing choices in your area? Prices are definitely rising in my area, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And what are your thoughts on the E15, the ethanol 15 gas? To me, it doesn't really make much sense if it's only going to 2% of the gas stations. And ethanol in general isn't really an effective fuel source, so it's subsidized by the government. I heard it takes a gallon of gas to produce a gallon of ethanol, but it just doesn't make much sense. And it also ruined my lawnmower a couple of years ago. I didn't realize you weren't supposed to put ethanol into lawnmowers. Anyway, so I just have a beef with ethanol. But let me know your thoughts on all that down in the comments below. Next, the stimulus check news here. So stimulus check update. New $500 payments are coming to people in this state. So this is going on in Massachusetts, $500 payment for Massachusetts workers. And this is eligibility requirements for a round one premium pay stimulus check in Massachusetts. So basically, you had to have worked in Massachusetts during the peak of the pandemic. These are essentially retroactive hazard pay checks for the most part. So those are $500 checks going to them. And Missouri, this is actually surprising here. Missouri House GOP pitches $500 tax breaks for individuals. So usually Republicans are not the ones who are proposing stimulus checks. I guess that's how you know that things are getting a little worse. So Missouri residents who file income taxes who would be eligible for $500 tax credit under a new Republican proposal that Democrats panned on Tuesday. Usually it's the Democrats that are proposing the stimulus checks, and married couples could get $1,000 under this plan, so that's going on in Missouri. And then Senator Daphne Jordan advances a common sense amendment to the state budget to establish $1,000 family freedom inflation relief checks to help New York families being hurt by inflation. So this is going on in New York, and it looks like $1,000 checks there. So the amendment would provide $1,000 in direct relief to assist qualifying families in coping with the high cost of childcare, paying for the child's education, or providing caregiver support to help families with elderly or disabled family members. So yeah, $1,000 checks in New York. And then taxpayers to receive direct payments, grocery sales tax to be suspended as part of Illinois budget deal. So a few things going on in Illinois. They're suspending certain taxes, like for example, grocery tax, which is 1% in Illinois. They're suspending that. They're suspending gas tax. They're also, I believe, giving out $300 per household, which will also be included in the budget. And then also, going on in Illinois, the 2023 budget forces grocers to display Governor J.B. Pritzker's temporary suspension of the 1% grocery tax. Illinois is one of the few states to tax groceries. So for whatever reason, in Illinois, every grocery store has to say, like, Governor J.B. Pritzker's remove the 1% grocery tax. And it's also, I guess, an election year for the governor, which is why he wants to share that information. Also, if we look here, we can see the states that are colored here, black and green, are the ones that charge a grocery tax. Only 13 states charge taxes on groceries. So you can see Idaho is 6%, Utah 1.75%. One of them was really high. Yeah, Mississippi, 7% grocery tax. So some of them really high. Looks like Illinois is one of the few that is suspending the 1% tax, which really isn't that high compared to Mississippi at 7%, some of them 6%. But most states don't have that. And then when it comes to what relief is being done on a federal level, Nancy Pelosi a while ago talked about rebate card payments being considered to fight gas costs. At this point, we haven't really seen anything from the federal government, although a few politicians have mentioned federal gas stimulus checks, the $100 per month gas checks. We haven't seen any of those come forward. So at the time, it looks like on the federal level, not really happening. State levels, seeing a lot of it. Almost every day, a new state is coming out with some type of stimulus provision or inflation relief check or tax rebate, something like that. So I'll keep you updated on those. And when it comes to COVID, looks like a comeback is coming. So Shanghai vows punishment for COVID lockdown violators as cases hit 25,000. So Shanghai in general has been really bad. If you've been paying attention to it, there's been millions of people. The city is twice the size of New York. Millions of people, tens of millions of people on lockdown, not allowed to leave their apartments, screaming at night, and food shortages. It's a really bad situation. I don't think it'll get like that in the U.S., but cases are starting to trend up. So COVID-19 cases trend up again in the U.S., driven by the growth of BA2. But the thing is, cases aren't as severe. Take a look at this video clip giving an update.
Following the trend of previous COVID waves that have washed across the nation, tonight pockets of the Northeast are again seeing the most significant spike in new infections. While the numbers are nowhere near Omicron's surge and authorities do not expect hospitals to be overwhelmed, the massive decline in testing and unreported results from home kits may be skewing the real rise in cases.
It certainly is being undercounted, Miguel, because I know people myself who have no symptoms or have mild symptoms, get tested, it's positive, they stay home the way they should, but they don't tell anybody.
With infections up 15% nationwide, the daily case count is still just a fraction of January's. But in Philadelphia, where mask mandates return next week, local officials fear the start of a new wave.
There may be a surge in cases, but if you note, there's a very, very small chance of a person who's vaccinated and boosted of going on to a severe outcome.
Do you think Americans would be willing to accept the return to mask mandates?
I think that would be a problem, Miguel. People are so fatigued and tired of COVID that they just don't want to go back. The only thing we can do is to just try and encourage people that this will end. This will not go on forever.
Tonight, a weary nation facing an enduring pandemic. Miguel Almaguer, NBC News.
So what are your thoughts on that? Do you think there'll be more mask mandates? Should there be mask mandates? Mask on, mask off? Let me know your thoughts on all that. And that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully brighten your day a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Bella. This is a tip of the day. I want to tell you one of my favorite secrets. Adults don't know everything. So I don't too. I know I'm really smart, but I don't really know as much things. You don't know as much things, but we're all gonna learn. I promise. If you keep on working every day, I can, and we all can, and we can all be really smart. And we can all be really smart.
Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate all of your support. Don't forget, if you want to check out my new book, The 50-Day Gratitude Journal, if you want to change your mental state and try to feel a little bit better throughout the day, it's a really powerful journal. I've done it myself in the past, and that's the reason why I created my own and wanted to promote it to as many people as possible, and I'm giving it away for free to a few people. I have my details of how you could contact me about that down in the description below, or if you just want to buy it and support me, you could do that too. I have an Amazon link as well there too. So if you want to check out any of my latest videos, my other channels, you could click up here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.